What up, guys? It's me, Jules, What Culture Gaming, here with Peter.
That's me.
And today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2.
What? Oh my god.
I am mad excited for this game. Like, the more stuff that comes out for it, the more I'm just like, oh, please don't be bad.
Well, there's a huge, collective out there of people saying, don't get excited for it, because you got excited for the last one, and you didn't like it. Well, for one thing, I did, so shut up. But also, this looks like EA have actually listened to the list as long as our arm of problems
issues,
with the first one.
What I thought was quite funny was in their presentation, they said, we've listened to the feedback, and they showed little Twitter things, and none of them had swearing in.
No.
They carefully chose those ones, didn't they? None of them saying like, F you EA, you bunch of c***s.
Yeah.
It was just like, could you make this slightly better, please?
Yeah. Oh, I really miss being able to do this in Battlefront, the original.
With Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, now that they've released a trailer, haven't they? There was
Yes.
a new one, and they've released a lot of gameplay footage from various YouTubers around the world.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say this is shaping up to be not the Star Wars Battlefront 2 I really want, but the Star Wars Battlefront 2 I'm willing to love.
Yeah. I don't think it's not quite there, is it?
It's quoof puff.
It's quoof puff.
Yeah, it is quoof.
Well, I said I don't think it's quoof puff.
Oh, okay.
It's not quoof puff, but it's nearly there, right?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of stuff that we've seen in the gameplay has been overwhelmingly impressive.
Oh, yeah.
When you compare it to the first remake of the Star Wars Battlefront thing, there was a lot of good in that. I mean, it looked fantastic,
It did
but
look very
a lot
nice.
of the guys felt the same. Now with the introduction of classes, we're going to actually start to get a bit of variation on the battlefield. Like, there's 4 main classes and then hero classes, and they can all be customized. So, for example, the heavy one, which seems to be that it's going to be my favorite because he's got a goddamn minigun.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that he can switch out his grenade launcher for like a smoke screen thing, you can switch out for like chucking out ammo and stuff like that, people have said. That's the type of variation that this game needs to survive.
Yeah, it's nice to have distinguished classes, but then within that allow you to do a little bit of mixing around of what you have. So that's good. I think what's important to remember as well is this is pre-alpha gameplay that's gone out.
And it looks bloody impressive,
It's
doesn't
already
it?
looking good. There are definitely some movement issues. I think Ben's editing this and he might not be able to find it, so apologies. But if he can't find it, I saw this R2 unit. It was like driving around in Thief, but it was going like, like going all over the place. But I'm sure they'll have ironed that out by the end.
A faulty droid.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know. But the other thing to talk about is the actual trailer itself that we got shown, which they're calling.
Ben.
There it is. Wow. Which they're calling gameplay. I don't know if it's exactly gameplay. It's from a first-person perspective, but some of the bobbing and stuff makes me feel like it's at least kind of altered or simulated to an extent, but it's fine. I think it's indicative, if nothing else.
Yeah. Is that what they call a vertical slice, where basically they've got a tech demo that they're disguising as gameplay?
Well, but even a vertical slice looks properly like gameplay in terms of its movement and its, the way it's presented. This just to me felt a little bit like, I don't know.
Could it have been staged using the game's mechanics, but just...
Yeah, I think it was almost entirely. I think it was animated, but using raw materials from the actual engine or something. Like that. I don't know, but in any case, that doesn't matter because it looks awesome and it's definitely in-engine footage. They've said that.
Cool.
And compared to the gameplay that we have seen, it's pretty much like for like.
Yeah. I mean, should we talk about the actual gameplay that we've got? Maybe do some sort of positives and negatives about it, because there were a few negatives that I saw, but we'll roll out with the positives first,
right?
Because the game looks fantastic.
It does.
The interior of the palace.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
And as you said,
that's shinier than my forehead. This marble surface is.
Lovely.
Big
marble.
fan. Big fan.
As you said, the first one, if nothing else, looked amazing. People have many complaints about it, but visually stunning. And that is exactly what I'm looking forward to again with this one. Is one of the best things about playing the current Battlefront is exploring environments that you're already familiar with.
Yeah.
And being able to, find... There's always, the occasional Easter egg as well. So, on Hoth, for example, on Battlefront, you can see right down at the end of a cave, there's a Wampa, chewing on
I remember you told me about that one.
and stuff like that. You can go into, the trash compactor on the Death Star.
That's cool.
Just things like that. And I'm really looking forward to now having that all over again, but with prequel era stuff. And I'm sure with the sequel stuff as well, they'll drop in
chucking
some
even more bits and or bobs.
interesting stuff.
The setting of choosing the city is actually really clever as well. I mentioned it before in our roundup.
Right.
It's choosing a very, very famous scene from the prequels and one of the best maps from the original Battlefront trilogy, or duology? Whatever. Yeah, the two DOs.
The two.
Yeah, the two. It's a very clever move for them to do that because it hits the right strides of being like, fans will love this because they'll remember it, and new people who love the prequels will be like, cool, here's a full experience of that.
Yeah,
like
that's right.
It just looks lovely as well. Like the aesthetics of Thieves City is always nice.
Yeah.
Like the rounded domes, the beautiful sunlight,
There are
just
doves.
stuff like that. The little details, like when you're playing as the cis separatist people, you can see all of the clone troopers like being held hostage at the beginning.
I really love that.
That's cool. Bit of a shame you can't kill them though, because people have tried.
Have people tried to shoot them?
Yeah, and in the bullets just go sort of like bounce off them. It's kind of nice that they've added that detail in, because it's like, cool, we're actually a force to be reckoned with. Let's go do that now. And it was kind of like almost piss-takey, the voice at the beginning saying like, yeah, wave 1 got destroyed, you're wave 2. We expect about 80% casualties, and you're just there like, bloody hell.
Great. I mean, I might be a clone, I might seem expendable to you, but I'm a real person inside. Also touching on presentation as well, the trailer that they showed, I think it really needs to be said how awesome the music was and how well the whole thing paired together. So it was this really like slow, plodding version of Duel of the Fates. That alone, that track is just great. I really enjoyed it. But then the way they've synced up the battle and the explosions with the beats of the music. If you get, maybe you didn't notice first time round, but if you watch it back, dum dum dum, and there's like clones like landing from their jetpacks, like dum dum dum, and things blowing up. I think it's just, I really like seeing that kind of thing. Just like that's an extra level of care that they've taken.
And that kind of describes what we're seeing from this Battlefront 2 trailer and gameplay. Is that like they seem to have gone back to the drawing board and just been like, look, people don't just want a generic shooter with a Star Wars skin slapped on. What they want to do is love the franchise as much as we want them to, and they seem to be delivering on all fronts on this. Like the vehicles.
All Battlefronts.
Oh, nice. The aerial combat looks fantastic as well. Do you know what I noticed that I really liked? When you go into a first-person perspective in the cockpit, you'll be flying this way, but you can aim within a certain thing, like the old Time Splitters way.
Yeah, it's like GoldenEye.
Yeah, and I think that that's fantastic, because I was always fed up when I was flying in the previous games of when I wanted to aim, say, down here, I didn't want to aim my plane right into the floor.
Yeah, right.
I wanted to be able to pass over and just gun down people below me.
And there's also a thing I thought you were going to say with the UI, where if your target is like flying this way, the sort of aiming thing that you should be shooting towards is in front of the ship.
Yes, you can lead it, and it helps people get used to the
the computer
combat.
works out that like by the time your blaster bolt is going to reach, this ship is going to be here, so it's telling you to aim here. It's really clever.
That's a really cool thing, because that will help balance the sort of battlefield or Battlefront, as it were. Again, same joke. Twice the payoff.
Perfect.
And it will help newcomers to that to figure out, okay, cool, that's how you do dogfights. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think for now, it's very much a case of see where this goes, and I think at the moment I want to see more. Now, I've complained over and over about the state of Crash Bandicoot's marketing, which has just revealed the entire game.
What's the point of playing it anymore? They've released the entire, they've released all the all of the cinematics, all of the.
This is a different video, Jules. We've got to be careful.
Yeah, I know.
I tried to gloss over it, but I said it, and I opened a can of worms. But I think at the moment we're at the other end with Battlefront, and I think it's a bit too early to start saying this is going to be amazing. But certainly the trailer and the way they've handled it is very positive, because you can see the level of care and the fact that they've obviously listened to the things that have been said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get myself as excited as I am, but it's just an unadulterated joy to see something as fun as the original Battlefront. I keep getting them confused.
Well, the same thing.
Yeah, the original Battlefront 2 coming to life in the ways that I wanted it to. Yes, there's no galactic conquest, and yes, there's so far, and I'm sure that there's a few other things that are going to be missing, like the roly-poly droids, but like...
Droidicast.
I always get the name wrong, so I just didn't want to say it there. But it's just nice to see that, as it stands, from a pre-alpha perspective, this is shaping up to be a very, very big game. However, let's talk about some of the negatives. I noticed while watching some of the gameplay, one of the things that I don't like, and I really hate myself for not liking this, all of the moves seem incredibly quick to cool down. Like all of the special 3 that they've got in the corner, because every character now has 3 special moves that can be interchanged instead of the card system.
Right.
So, for example, the heavy guy's got a minigun, smoke launcher, and a personal shield.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that you could literally just roll through each of these, and then by the time that you've gone through the next one, you would be able to use the other one. Okay. And I worry about balancing because,
but these are the kind of things that they can't even begin to think about balancing until there's been a huge amount of playtesting.
I'm just raising that concern now in case people are just like, the final product gets out and everyone's just like, this is way too easy just to spam moves over and over. I also felt that the heroes, while they're varied now and they seem to have really thought about what moves to give them, like they don't all feel the same. Like Rey's got a really useful ability where she like passes her hand over and she can see through walls and see enemies. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Darth Maul on the other hand is very much more aggressive, so he'll flip forward like flippy shit. Yeah, he does a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel that maybe the hero should get some health back per kill, like they used to in the old Battlefront games, because at the moment they don't seem to be the game-changing forces that they used to be. Maybe you guys out there prefer this approach, but I feel like once you step onto the battlefield as Han Solo, if you play well, you should be able to last the rest of the game like that.
Yeah, where if you play it right, you get rewarded for that.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas this one, it kind of feels like you'll have so many people playing as the hero per match that it kind
because they're getting killed off constantly.
That you'll just be like, whatever. It's just it's a bother rather than a threat.
Okay, I mean that's true. Again, that's sort of a balancing issue.
It is.
You know, the best way to deal with those things is to have loads and loads and loads of playtesting matches.
Yeah.
And so I guess at the pre-alpha stage, we don't have to worry too much about balancing. But you're right to raise the issue, and hopefully these things will be handled later on.
Yeah.
I am also. I'm always worried with a game that is clearly, you know, it's designed for the multiplayer action. In the same way that something like Call of Duty is. Does that mean that the single-player story, which people have been asking for since the first one, basically, that was a big missing component, does that mean that's going to fall by the wayside, or is it going to be really good? Now, I use the case of Call of Duty because actually those single-player modes are really good overall.
Yeah, they actually have pretty decent single-player.
Great set pieces, cool characters, so it can obviously be done well. I just, you know, this isn't Treyarch, and this isn't the other people who sometimes do Call of Duty.
Oh, Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward, thank you very much. So it's different developers, and maybe they can't do it as well as the other two.
No, I totally share your worry for that because they've been hyping up this single player. If it's a dud, then it won't look like it's added to the game, it will look like it's taken away. It's something that I always feel whenever they do like tacked on story modes and things like that. If it doesn't complement the game overall, maybe it's actually worth less putting it in.
Yeah, and this is like a kind of a proving ground moment as well, because presumably they'll be doing at least a Battlefront 3, if not going on and on and on almost forever. And so this is a moment here where they say, okay, we've got this new run of Battlefronts since the previous one, and we didn't do a story, now we're going to test a story, and if it doesn't go well, then maybe they'll think, no, it wasn't worth it. We were right in the first place. So hopefully that's going to be good. In fact, we should mention the Emperor's face on that
we were
red.
right, weren't we?
Yeah,
because we called that a long, long time ago. We said that that was going to be a droid with the Emperor's last message, sort of spreading out to the galaxy.
Yeah, because he's in sort of Imperial Guard robes, but he's clearly not an Imperial Guard. In the initial trailer, he was like way off in the distance. So
we're assuming then that he has died. This is his last message that comes out, and just goes, "Well, I'm dead. Awkward.
You awkward? Falling down the hole.
Down the hole I go. But don't let my falling be in vain.
I have a contingency.
Yeah, contingency. For unlimited power.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so he's got a deal, and this woman. This this cool-looking woman with her wicked, kind of weird hybrid Imperial pilot / Death Trooper
Yeah, she's
armor.
in like black armor, which is classically Imperial pilot, but then we've had the Death Troopers, so
maybe if she was a pilot, it would make sense because then she could then pilot any sort of vehicle, and I'm sure we'll be doing quite a lot of that in the story mode.
Yeah.
One thing that it is missing though is a cheeky droid. I know that we've got her flying one, but it's not going to speak. I want the.
You want a K2?
I want a K2.
Yeah, true. I mean, you can't have everything.
Yes, I can.
Okay,
I
yes.
can demand it all. I'm a gamer. I'm very entitled.
Please write to EA Dice. Give us a cheeky K2 droid.
Yeah, just that's it. That's the only heading. Nothing in the body of
No,
text.
dear
No.
EA. No, from Jules.
Not at all.
Just that.
And then just a picture of my face going.
Yeah.
But that was the Star Wars Battlefront 2 experience. As you can tell, we've rambled quite a lot, but there's a lot to cover and a lot more to check out in the future. Just, we're excited.
Yes.
We're tempering our expectations. It probably hasn't come across in this vid, then we've probably come across as massive fanboys. But you know what? We just love Star Wars and want to see it done well.
It looks so pretty.
Let us know what you want to put into the Battlefront 2. It's not going to happen, but let us know anyway, because it's fun to read your comments.
Just email Dice.
Yeah, just
Maybe
email
that'll
Dice,
happen.
cheeky K2 being the subject heading. But as we'll be bringing you more coverage of Battlefront 2 as we get it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything more to add?
No, just stick with us for even more. I mean, we've put out our bulk of our EA coverage.
Goodbye,
EA coverage.
goodbye E3.
E3 is what I meant.
Goodbye, E3.
But we've got more stuff coming today. We're doing Beyond Good and Evil Easter eggs.
Some guy here thinks that he can do an entire list on all the Easter eggs in there.
Got loads, mate. And we're doing Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh yeah, doing some Marvel vs. Capcom stuff. A little bit later on.
So,
tune in for that.
Stick with us.
Until then.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
I've been Jules.
I've been Peter from Rock Called Choco.